So 65 writers of Quiet Place. What did you think? Overall thoughts of 65.
I feel like the connection which everyone knew going into it, which is the connection between, I guess, alien human life forms and Earth, was kind of ruined by your basic cliche connection between a father-like figure and a daughter-like figure.
So
duo.
the whole premise was humans were a thing in the universe before Earth.
Which I dig.
Right.
And it gave a prehistoric Earth looked alien, and it's true. It would look alien.
Yeah, but my problem with the whole when they land on Earth in this movie is where the hell's all the life? Like
you see a little bit, but
they
yeah,
run into it eventually, but like the Earth is teeming with life everywhere, especially at this time on Earth. The bugs are gigantic. You're gonna run into everything.
You get to see a little bit of that.
A little bit, yeah. It did seem like a little bit like Alien Covenant, where they're walking around this alien planet and there's like nothing.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing.
really just landscape.
Right, a lot of landscape in the middle of the woods. I'm like, dude, we did run into the big boys at the very end. It seemed like a safe movie. It didn't seem like it wanted to do anything too different. Like, we've seen everything in this movie before somewhere else. I think they shouldn't even told anyone in the trailers or anything that this was Earth. Like, what they landed on was Earth. The whole twist could have been like, oh, these are advanced humans from Earth and they're colonizing. And they're on different planets. I'm going to go to this planet, and there's these weird-looking dinosaur creatures, but they don't really look like dinosaurs. The T-Rexes look like fucking T-Rexes. But there was, like, those weird ones that kind of crawled really low on its upper legs, and it did look...
Komodo dragon-like
It
things.
looked alien. Yeah, it did look alien. And the whole twist could have been, like, this was Earth 65 million years ago. And that once the Earth was hit with the asteroid, they did come back and colonize it. But I guess we got that at the end when it was kind of montaging through the ages, and then you saw like a city kind of rise out of like the valley and stuff. Like I said, it could have been really special, but
I think if you missed your mark at that.
They kept it really low, like a man, a rifle, a girl.
It's always
get to
something,
the ship.
It's always something grounded, and I get that. It's supposed to like be like, it's supposed to be
relatable,
yeah. But when you have something this complex, you kind of miss the better story, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of the cheaper story, there was definitely another story in
Like,
there that you could have done.
I could see them pitching this movie like, all right, there's humans way before our civilization, and they're on different planets and they're colonizing, and they land on Earth 65 million years before now. I'm like, all right, then what happens? Well,
they get off
He
before the meteor.
He
like,
finds a girl, and they kind of form a relationship, and they get off the planet. They fight some dinosaurs. Okay. Okay. And then they get off the planet. And, like, the whole part of the movie was kind of... The cool part was in the beginning. Then once we're on Earth, it was just a little boring to me. It wasn't what, you know... It could have been really interesting. Like, he could have had hordes of things, and he could have had technology. Like, remember when he set up those circle things, and they were like, it was like a security measure. It'd be cool to see him do that for like the first few days on Earth. Maybe try and find survivors here and there, pulling them out of their things.
I think it would have been better if more survived, and then you can have some get killed off, you know?
Yeah. Or ones go bad.
Hey, we got to get to this part of the ship, and that's kind of what it was, but it was just one girl, and they just kind of had, kind of awkward, cutesy stuff along the way, but if it was a little bit more serious and had, like, your typical horror setup where one guy's got a different perspective. You got an asshole, that you don't really care that he's about to get eaten.
You can't trust him. Yeah.
You can't trust him. There's conflict between the people. The one's freaking out. Right. There's the girl. You can have the girl in there too, but it's, like you said, it's just a little too boring. In that kind of setting, it's just a little too boring.
Yeah. And the whole beginning was weird. We're on the alien planet. Like I said, they keep it small scale. And his daughter's sick, terminal sickness, so he's got to take this 2-year job to transport or colonize.
Come on.
I'm not 100% sure. I think he was transporting the people. I don't think he was colonizing.
Yeah, I think he was just he was the driver guy.
Right.
Who, for some reason, can't speak one of the languages of the passengers. You think he'd be one of them.
Yeah. And you think that your planet could recognize, there's an asteroid belt that you're about to go into. Let's redirect and go around. Like, I don't know. And the whole, like, I need this job so I have enough money to save my...
I just don't care about that. Like, I just don't. Like, right. I get it. That's just cheap. It's been overdone so many times. No one cares about it.
It was to get him to relate to a different little girl. Yeah. It is like The Last of Us.
It is The Last of Us for sure. And it's just, come on, again.
And I didn't buy it.
It's been overused.
I love the idea of Primal Earth and it being alien life, technically. But there was some stuff in there where you're just like, we keep seeing these hints of these creatures, but very rarely did we run into them. And it was hinted in the background, and then we're like, wait, didn't we see something like 20 minutes ago? And then it pops up finally. But for example, at the very beginning where he crash lands and he's in that fucking lagoon, and then something goes, and he goes, what was that? I'm over here.
Yeah, it picks up a body. Now. It takes a body down under.
Yeah.
It's like, so is that gonna...
Are we gonna address this?
Are they gonna grab his leg? Is it gonna attack him?
Right. And he kept going back to that area.
Yeah,
and nothing happened.
Nothing really happened.
Stepped on some eggshells.
Yeah.
Did see some dinosaurs here and there.
Raptor, I guess, little things, but...
Again, I think you could have explored more creatures, more technology, more threats in general, because it's just like a ghost town. And
it just seems like they wanted a very awesome, cool setting, but didn't have the budget to really... take advantage of the setting, so they went the cheap route when it came to the actual the plot of it all.
Yeah,
which you still could have done if there was, again, it would have been a little bit more entertaining if there was a group of people and there was actually lost, because they didn't really lose anything other than the whole fucking crew, but they all died at the beginning. So okay, all that time, that's it. That's all the things you lose.
Yeah,
and. You're just running the whole time. So,
and I was in my head, I was like, oh, are they gonna connect human life as an alien life? Not really. Like they didn't. They, like I said, it was that little montage at the end of the valley evolving, but that's another thing that they could have done, but just didn't care to do it. I don't know. I didn't really like it. To be honest, I didn't really like it.
It's not gonna be something I'm gonna buy on DVD.
No, and probably something I really won't watch again. Maybe a couple years from now, I'm like, hey, was it really that bad? And
it seems like something that's gonna be on streaming real fast.
Yeah, it does.
It'll be on streaming real fast.
But it is what it is. It does seem like they had Quiet Place people. We got Adam Driver, 65 million years into the past.
But what? He's kind of futuristic. Yeah. His technology.
And then you get in the seat, and they're like...
And that's it.
That's yeah. And now we're going through the prehistoric...
We're just really trying to escape before the meteor hits.
Or what if he accidentally caused that mass extinction? What if his ship redirected the asteroid to hit Earth? They didn't really expand on that either. Like, but it is what it is. What would you grade it?
As far as I don't know, man. I don't want to be mean and say like
it doesn't have to. Or something, it's not personal.
I know, but it's not a terrible movie. I'd give it low C minus probably. But I'll tell you, like, I'm that reluctant teacher who's like, I don't want to fail you, but I just want you to get out of here, kind of thing. So it's like on the barrier. I would say 69 to 70
area. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, could have been interesting. You had a big name, Adam Driver, in here, but
decent setup.
But there's just parts in here where it's just like boom, ding, ding, going like Goofy. She's throwing fucking fruit at him, and we're just like
goofing off.
I'm like,
bit,
we should be fearing,
okay, but like
we should be fearing for our lives running into these creatures that are crazy built for killing. Like they're just built for it. And we're just kind of skipping along and on a weird planet. And we did have some weird things where the thing got in our mouth, and that was really weird.
Yeah, that was just out of nowhere kind of, but whatever.
The bugs were a huge threat 65 million years ago. How big they were.
I can't stand the mosquitoes now.
Right.
I can't imagine what they were like, fucking hummingbird-like mosquitoes.
And then we made a joke about it by just killing it. And then he was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, and then she's like,
you should have.
I don't know, man. We were spending our time and energy on things we shouldn't have. But, yep, it is what it is. But that was a review for 65. See you guys in the next one.